welcome to the Candid Athletic Training Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chad. And
you know what?
We're excited. This is the best time of the year.
I think we're both just like, we're buzzing. We're buzzing.
A little energy, a little whoop whoop.
And it's not just because we just released the most fun time of the year bracket that you could ever do in any kind of situation of your workplace.
No, that's the only reason.
Oh, that's the only reason?
It's the only reason.
I was going to say we're going to have some cool guests on too, though.
We got some fun. We got some fun people here to join us who love all you athletic trainers. Thank you all for joining us. If you are on the live stream, we appreciate you. Happy. This is officially the first time we've done the podcast during National Athletic Training Month. So happy Athletic Training Month.
Yeah. Happy Athletic Training Month.
Before
National Athletic Training Month.
NATM. Gosh, I can't wait for convention.
Do you say NATA or do you say NATA?
Convention and meeting people, and it's the best part. It's coming.
Philly, here we come.
So
the city of athletic training love.
Yeah. Well, let's show some love real quick.
Oh,
we're gonna put their logo
guys
up, and then we're gonna bring them on. Our friends at Healthy Roster, Dan and Nathan. Let's let them introduce themselves. Allow myself
put them on the spot
to introduce myself. There's Dan and there's Nathan.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for being on the show.
What's going on, guys? Happy National Athletic Training Month.
Well, we appreciate
NATM.
NATM.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Oh, appreciate you guys.
Pleasure.
I mean, honestly, without you two specifically and your team, this doesn't happen.
I mean, we don't have this beautiful orange, cover to our table without Healthy Roster. It's ridiculous.
Is that where that went? Nathan, I didn't realize you gave that to
This is the world's biggest table skirt, just so you know. It fits like 3 tables.
Yeah, we need a much bigger table. We need a much bigger table because you can only see like a T and an H somewhere.
I know.
Jeez, everybody's like, why would they pick a random orange tablecloth? Because we love Healthy Roster.
I'm going to read something real quick.
Okay.
We got a review this week.
Uh-oh.
That popped up.
Is it a good one?
It's a good one. And
okay.
I just want to read it. And then I want to preface this by saying it's because of Dan and Nathan that we can do this show. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. Kevin and I sat down almost 4 years ago, and we said, we want to do this. But without support, you cannot make things happen.
You cannot.
And Healthy Roster has been the number one support for us, in addition to our listeners. But so we got this 5-star review from Vicky1213. It says, Dear Chad and Kevin, I just want to say thank you so much for restoring my passion in athletic training. I used to listen to the show back before the pandemic, but ever since 2020, I have been so busy I have never had time to listen. Then about 2 months ago, December 2021, I left a job I absolutely loved. I was a solo high school athletic trainer who was burnt out and exhausted, and in truth was ready to leave the profession altogether. Long story short, I began to re-listen to the Candid AT podcast from episode 1 as I decided what I wanted to do next. Every episode I laughed, argued with your fat choices or FMKs, and sometimes I even cried when you would bring up your relationships with your athletes and how I realized how much I missed mine. I decided to give athletic training one more chance. I found a new job that I am enjoying and continue to listen to 2 episodes each day. So thank you for helping me remember my passion for this profession and letting me know I'm not the only one who struggles sometimes. And as a huge MCU fan, I love all the comic book nerdiness that is thrown in from time to time. Thanks again and keep it up. Victoria, Twitter, Morris_ATC. And that's why Kevin and I have goosebumps right now. You can't see it, but I have goosebumps because that's what we get to do every week. And so thank you, Nathan, and thank you, Dan, because without you guys, we don't get that. And so I know it's directed at us, but indirectly it also goes to you guys because we can't do it without you.
So true.
Well, I'll say something really quick about that. First of all, awesome. Thanks, Mom, for writing a review for those guys. That was really nice of you. No, Vicky, that was cool. And you know what? Honestly, there's a reason that we like being with you guys. You guys give a reprieve to a lot of the athletic trainers sometimes. One of the reasons that we do what we do is because we want to make your jobs easier. And so the fact that we're able to do that and we're able to align ourselves with people like you, you guys give these athletic trainers a reprieve and give them something cool to talk about and have fun. Because everybody needs to have fun at the end of the day and enjoy what they do. And yeah, we love you guys. I love listening to you guys. It's fun.
Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll just say, guys, Dan, and I'm sure Dan has said this before, but we both have kids that play high school sports. Both of us have two of them right now, and the ATs are so important in their lives, and it takes so much stress off of a parent's life to have ATs that are competent and care for your kids. And so, us building software to make their lives a little easier, they do the same thing for us. And honestly, it's a great kind of circle of care there.
So we've had Dan on the show a couple times, but Nathan, this is the first time you've had the opportunity to join us. So why don't you let people know a little bit about you and how you got into Healthy Roster and what's your story?
Sure. I've actually been a startup guy almost my entire career. About a year out of college, I started, building websites and I'm not actually a developer, but I knew a little bit to be dangerous and just love the web and love building software. And so over the years, I've done a number of startups and was running a company that did stat tracking software for high school coaches and statisticians, and convinced Dan to jump out of TV media and join me. And he and I have been buddies for years. We had known each other growing up and just reconnected through that business. And we're like, man, we really enjoy working together. And as we got deep into the high school space, we were just like, what else can we come in here and fix software wise? And we both had kids that were just getting to that stage where they were getting injured playing sports, and there was just a natural connection. And once we did that, it just took off from there. So, my story is just that I love starting companies, and I love taking, a thought process and building that into a real product and then changing people's lives because of it. And even if that's just taking an hour of time and giving it back to people, it doesn't have to be profound changes. It can just be about making people's lives a little easier every day for their work life. So yeah, that's my story.
What sports do your kids play?
Yeah.
My daughter is a lacrosse player. My son plays hockey and baseball. So I have two boys. My youngest is 5th grade, so it's not quite. Thank God he's not quite, injuring himself at that level yet. But,
I was gonna say you got a lot of travel coming your way.
Oh yeah.
My middle son is a sophomore in high school, and just today came home and said, "Yep, had to talk to the AT today." I was like, "Really? Like, what happened?" He's like, "Yeah, my arm hurts from baseball, so it's already got some type of shoulder tendonitis going on," which is just, after about a week of practice. So fantastic.
Gotta love baseball.
Yep.
So before we start talking Fat Bracket, which is what we really want to get into, why don't you guys tell us what's new in the Healthy Roster world? I know last time we spoke, there was I believe there was a conscious effort to get into the industrial setting and some of the non-traditional settings, right?
Yeah. So I think what we've tried to maintain the entire time that we've had this company, not only Nathan and myself, but we have a third co-founder, Sean, is really just to concentrate on what's going to move the business, not our business, but the profession. What's going to move the profession? What's going to kind of move it forward? And what we've tried to do is understand the space and where everything's going. So about 2 years ago, we started to see a little bit of a migration into the industrial space from an athletic trainer's perspective. So we really tried to study that space, where it was going, and what was moving that space. And a lot of it was, there's a lot of return on investment that an athletic trainer could bring to that industrial space. And what I mean by that is there's no better provider to treat prevention, to work with, work on prevention, work with people, the type of injuries, the MSK soft tissue type injuries that a lot of these industrial athletes, we called them, were dealing with. And so we started to really dig in on that. And, sure enough, we started connecting with a lot of the Fortune 500 companies. We started connecting with a lot of employers who hired athletic trainers, and it's really taken off a lot. So really happy to be in that space. Really happy to be anywhere athletic trainers are. And that's kind of really been our motto since the beginning, right, Nathan?
So it's
Yeah, I
almost
mean,
like oh, go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna follow that up and say, our goal is to build the best software platform for outreach and specifically for athletic trainers. So wherever they go, we're trying to build workflows that matter to them. So we had focused so much on sports medicine, and I hope did a good job at building out flows that matter to athletic trainers on the sidelines. That when they got into the industrial space, they needed tweaks. We needed to be able to call them employees instead of athletes, and there's lots of workflows that were very similar to being on a sideline, but needed to be tweaked a little bit. So we spent the last 12 months just kind of making sure they had an environment that made sense to them and their daily job.
And so where are we at with that? And like, do you see, obviously I'm sure you're helping because you just help. That's what you guys do. It's like, how far does it go? Like you said, you spent some time researching and tracking. It seems like some forecasting and almost like the futures in the stock market or whatnot. How far do we go with it?
I mean, first of all, he did say Fortune 500 and athletic training in the same sentence. So
that's right.
It's going somewhere.
Yeah.
I know it's going somewhere.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think what we found is that there is a need in that space. There is a strategic play for athletic trainers in that space, and there is a significant return on investment, like I said. I'll reiterate that because what we found is athletic trainers are reducing the number of injuries in that space by almost 50%, which means they're preventing workers from going to the emergency room or going to record a recordable injury, workman's comp issues. So that's major money at the end of the day that an employer can tie to an athletic trainer and what they do. So what we need to do and what we've done in the sports medicine space, and now we're doing in the industrial space too, is we're making sure that you have those tools to not only do the job that you need to do, but then to be able to report it on the other side of the business, right? Hey, here's why I'm valuable. Here's why we're making a difference. Let's not only show you, but let's make sure that all your stakeholders know it as well. If we do that, we not only elevate you, we not only elevate that profession, we elevate everybody in the space. So it's really come a long way in a short period of time as far as we're concerned.
That's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have the Midas touch. You really do. Everything you touch is gold, I feel like. I mean, seriously, it just I've said this every time you've come on, Dan, and Nathan, this will be the first time you've probably heard it live, but like it's just the infrastructure that you guys have set up allow you to go in any direction before it needs to be gone. Like you can get there first. It's just great. It just makes so much sense.
Well, I think a lot of that is just you listen to your customers and you pay attention, then you can build really good software that supports them. And that's all we did. I mean, honestly, we just saw a bunch of athletic trainers at different sports medicine groups also, starting, to need our product inside the industrial space. And it was like, hey, we really love this. I just moved to take care of these 3 companies and I want to use Healthy Roster here too, but it doesn't make any sense. So can you help tweak this and make the view better and, make it so that my employees don't think they're athletes, or at least it makes more sense to them. So that's all we did. And honestly, that's the key to a good business, is just listening to your customers.
Absolutely. So most of our listeners are still in the traditional setting. How are things there? What have you been seeing? Where do you expect it to go in terms of what you can provide for the traditional AT?
I think Nathan could probably speak to this a little bit more, but I think what we're really starting to see is the engagement with the athletes themselves. How do we better engage the athlete and make sure that they're getting what they need? And what that means on the other side is how do we get some really recordable, reportable outcomes at the end of the day? So we're doing a lot of what we call learning management. So it's kind of crossing over into what we're doing on the industrial side. But we've incorporated a huge learning management system into Healthy Roster. And we're starting to break this out into the sports medicine, but it's been in the industrial so far. So how do we give and provide the learning tools that not only you need, but that your athletes need, and really incorporate that into your daily activity to kind of show them what they need? Nathan, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'll just say that, you know, we're trying to.
So
Kevin,
if you're not listening, if you're not watching on the live stream, one of our live streamers just said, "Can Healthy Roster write up my injuries and rehab for me?"
It'd be way more.
Maybe
detailed.
you can speak to that too, Nathan.
well, we have a couple of.
I love Kevin.
Kevin,
I love Kevin, by the way.
Yeah, I think we can make your life a little easier, Kevin, but you're still going to have to do a little bit of typing. So, you know, they do have voice dictation though, so it shouldn't be that hard to just hit the little microphone button and start talking there. So, but anyways, on the LMS side, I'll just say, guys, you know, we needed to make sure that we had enough tools to cover all the things that our customers needed to do. I think the college sector has a need to get education out to their athletes. And so an LMS is really, it stands for Learning Management System. All it really is a way to make sure that you can track who's taken training and making sure that, you know, that it's documented. So, you know, it could be just a video. So it's just assigning a video, making sure they watched it and having that record of when they did. It can be, you can do like a short quiz or test to the content as well. So there's lots of things that an LMS can deliver, and we just saw that there were a lot of needs, I think, that we could cover with that one new feature. So we've been working pretty hard on that. Should be able to deliver that pretty soon here to all users.
That's phenomenal.
Scroll up. Dylan's got a question about transferring stuff. Post that so the boys can see it. Keep going. Well, you can post that one too. It's apparently Dylan's thumbs go numb from typing stuff. Right there.
Oh, here we go.
Right there.
It says, can Healthy Roster allow you to share athletes' files with teams if they move schools, teams, leagues, etc.?
And like a little background from Dylan. I mean, he's working in the professional hockey world, so I'm sure that, you know, there's transfer of players and this and that. Like, have you guys encountered that much?
Can you answer that, Nathan, better than me? Okay.
Yeah,
I will.
Well,
I will.
we have a couple of major sporting leagues that do that. So the answer is yes. We can help you with that. You know, we have Major League Rugby. We have a PGA Tour. We have just a bunch of different professional organizations that use us, and we have to deal with that. We have to be able to transfer from team to team.
Yeah, the exporting process is really easy.
Nice.
Uploading to a new system can happen as well. So what I always recommend is talk to our customer success team, and you guys know this. They're athletic trainers, so they know your space really well. And you just reach us at help@healthyroster.com. And then as soon as that comes in, there it is, healthyroster.com. If you just put a help in front of that and email us, we'll answer your question right away. And they'll be able to, basically what we do is we assign. So we have a group of people who are there waiting for your questions. And then the next available athletic trainer will take your call, you take your email, and then they'll answer that and assign it to somebody and then go in that order. So
what
Dylan,
I'm picturing,
just let us know.
What I'm picturing though is from your support team is the Snickers commercial not going anywhere for a while, like that fundraiser one, because it works so seamlessly. There are no issues. They're just sitting there waiting for somebody to call with an issue, and there are no issues. So they're just not going anywhere, just munching on Snickers.
I don't think they'd like that analogy, but I get the idea of what they're doing.
They probably would disagree. They probably, yeah. But they're a resource.
Yeah, no, they're awesome, and there's a reason that we have them there. They know the system, they've used the system, and they know your space, and so it's really valuable to have them there. But they do get busy come, probably about May, June, July, when we start to bring in new customers,
right,
and they have questions as they're getting started with. But we have some pretty extensive resources to kind of help people learn along the way. But yeah, no, we're always there, able to answer questions whenever you need us.
I will say this, Dan and Nate, my old career and the platform that we used to use in professional baseball, everybody that was behind the scenes of that platform had no medical experience, let alone like athletic training experience. Yeah. And I think it's incredibly valuable that what you guys do is employ the people that have actually been doing it, so that when I have that weird, very specific question that I need an answer for, you guys probably actually can answer that question. If not, you can figure out how to answer that question, which I just think is amazing, because not many platforms are doing that at all. Like, they're just web designers. They know how to make things work, but they don't know how to make it work for certain humans. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
We feel your pain. While Epic is good at some things, an outreach EMR, they are not. So we understand what you're going through.
And Kevin, to your point, there's, what's great about the way we have the system set up is our third co-founder, who's in charge of development. He oversees our customer success team. So when they bring him, hey, could we do this? He's the guy that's actually, coding the system and saying, awesome. Yeah, we could, but why do you want to do that? So we make sure that we pull in the majority to understand that this is going to make a big difference for everybody. So we've been really strategic about how we build new things and how we kind of go about what we do. And so thankfully we've been successful in that between the three of us, is really kind of dividing and conquering and building what makes the most sense for your profession.
Sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees, they say. I mean, that big picture of like, look, we can do this, but does it make sense? That's such a crucial piece in something like this. So,
well, I think we've talked about it on the podcast many times. Athletic trainers do athletic training for the money, number one. But number two, it's because we care about the people around us, right?
Yeah.
And so when we are working 12, 14-hour days and not maybe seeing benefits from that other than our athletes getting on the field, it's because we have this undying need to just, some reason, punish ourselves to work harder, right? And to me, what Healthy Roster does as an EMR company from the outside, and honestly, I've never had to use your product. And I know Chad loved it when he was at his former employer, but it sounds like every time I talk to you guys, you care about what the people that are using it need, right? And then how can that benefit you in the long run as the athletic trainer, but then also the athlete? Because you guys have those stories of your kids getting injured, and you want the person that's in charge of your kids' health to have the best thing possible for them. And I don't think that's how a lot of companies that are in your world work. I think what you're doing, kudos to you guys of being the company that cares about your customer base. And it's amazing. I think it's awesome.
Well, Nathan could speak to this. Yeah. I was going to say Nathan could speak to this because he's been a startup guy his whole life. Is you do stuff because you have a passion about it. And we got into this because we cared. And it was perfect timing for us, as Nathan mentioned, with our kids. So Nathan taught me how to run a good business, and he's been a great colleague. Is you got to do what you love. And if you do what you love, then you come into work every day and you figure out what makes you happy and what makes others happy. And it just coincides with one another.
Love it.
I mean, all we're talking in here about, guys, is mission, right? It's our mission to build good software for people who are on the front lines taking care of our kids. And it's your mission to take care of kids, through great healthcare that you deliver on the field. So, it's unique when you get a startup that is mission driven and is meaningful, because, everybody that's on our team can gather around that one thing that makes us special. And so, from that aspect, we just focus in on our athletic trainers as our core reason for being in business.
Love it.
So my friend Tim, who is now in Calgary area, just jumped on and he asked, can I get this internationally?
We've had that question before. There are some nuances, I think, from an international standpoint that have to be made. But we have contemplated doing a little bit more in Canada. It's just mostly been about timing, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Nathan?
You just have to call them therapists, athletic therapists,
Yeah, so,
I think.
Yeah, so the view profile changes just a bit, terminology. Also the HIPAA regulations and things that we've tailored our site to for, U.S. privacy issues here. They're a little different in Canada too. So the answer is we can talk to them, but we focus on the U.S. right now.
Okay. So earlier you talked about your mission, and I guess Kevin and my mission is to make people laugh and to give them that reprieve that you talked about. So let's switch gears a little bit here. We just released the fat bracket and we sent it to you guys, and you're working on a bracket together, from what I understand.
Cheating.
I mean, two of the smartest guys I know. What could go wrong? So first and foremost, before we talk about specific things within the bracket, because you've done this in the past, so when you sit down and you look at this, what do you really look at? Is there something you're specifically looking for? I want to find a person who's got the most of this or that or the other, or what's the thought process between, I guess, who's going to advance? Oh, Dan wants this one.
Oh, I got this.
I know what
totally.
you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. Your wife.
Yes, it has something to do with not mine, but his. So we got together today, and we're sitting at his kitchen table, and we're going, all right, well, who's better? Is it Princess Leia or is it Godzilla? And she's like, okay, guys, I've known you to be great at what you're doing for Healthy Roster, but what the heck are you guys talking about? And how is this relevant to what you guys are doing? And we're having, Nathan and I are seriously battling this out. No. Here's the merits on this one. No, this makes total sense. And to your wife's point, she had a really good point about Godzilla too. Just has two short hands, so that made that easy.
that right there, that's the spirit of this. How many conversations across the country are about the finer points of being an athlete? It's great. Just the fact that you guys did that, and you're saying the merits of things, and then the arms come in, and it's such the spirit of why we do this.
I got to tell you guys, we saw some underdogs we really liked. I think our bracket's going to surprise a little bit.
We're going to get into the underdogs in just a second here.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, who are your favorites here? You don't have to give us your specific winner or whatnot, but who do you find to be strong candidates?
We liked candidates that had an athletic background. I will say that.
Okay.
And we liked candidates that made us feel good. So if you think about it in a general, kind of perspective, do I feel good when I'm either, thinking about this or doing that? So those were the two things we looked at the most is, can sports drive knowledge base, and do I feel good when I'm doing my job?
So Dr. Doom doesn't necessarily advance in your bracket, apparently.
Trying to think who else.
Maybe Loki has some characteristics that he got you back, but early on, Loki, depending on how far you are in the MCU, ooh, tough. Pillsbury Doughboy might be against Danny Tanner though. I mean, those are just two
tough.
great. Those are
that was unfair, by the way, boys. That was unfair. I don't.
Just the two most lovable people ever.
You put a sentimental favorite in the one slot too. How are you supposed to beat that? That seems unfair to me.
It was strategic.
Cleanest athletic training room ever.
That's true. He was very clean.
Okay,
no, so I've got one. I'll give you one.
Sure.
Okay.
To Nathan's point, you want to feel good, right? Can you think of a 60s, 70s, or 80s rock song that doesn't make you feel good? If you say, what's going to make you feel good? I can't think of one.
Pour some
all my
sugar
favorites.
on me.
Yeah.
It's just good wound care.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So we've got a little bit of I think a sleeper there in rock music. I think.
So
I think it's making a comeback. It makes everybody feel good, and that's what you guys do as athletic trainers, is make them feel good at the end of the day.
I love it. Do you have any other? I don't even know what seed of rock. What rock is? Where is it?
Let's see.
Oh,
They
it's a
are
13 seed.
they're-
Do you have
they're
so
13.
you have a couple other like deep sleepers advancing, like something like a 12, 13, 14, 12 or below?
Yeah.
You have at least one.
Yeah, let me take you back. Let me take you back to your childhood. What's like the most iconic thing that you can think about as a child playing sports? It's going outside with a bunch of your buddies and playing baseball. Like that's just a quintessential summer thing. What could be more perfect for that than the Sandlot? And what's more representative of the Sandlot than Benny the Jet? Now listen, Benny the Jet's like an 11 seed, which I think
he is an 11 seed.
Yeah.
I think that was a major. I think you slighted him there. Now think about this.
I've got that.
Diamond,
I mean, we
But
got
he
Squints
cared
as a
about-
6 seed.
Do you think Benny the Jet would be better than Squints?
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Benny the Jet was the best player, and he cared about all his boys. Like he had that golden heart and the skill set. That's what you want from your ATs.
Look at the passion
you want them
coming
to
out here.
care. You want them to care, and then you want them to actually have the skill set to fix whatever's wrong. Like I think he's perfect for it.
That's
No doubt.
it's really interesting because what's fun about this exercise is it's just your opinion, and you can make an argument for basically most of these characters, and you're like, yeah, I get it. I totally see where you're coming from. And when you say it, I'm like, shit, why did we rank them that low? I don't get it. I don't know. And we sat down and ranked them we did this last night. And I was like, oh, this will be super easy. And then we're like about 15 minutes in, I'm like, this is not easy. And every year we go through the same thing. It's like, how do we rank these people? Who's going to be better than, this is one of the most challenging things we do, I think, is to try and come up with something that looks reasonable. And I understand why there's so many people that get upset about with the NCAA tournament. The last 4 in, the first 4 out, and who got snubbed. And I'm like, I totally get it now. I don't want to be on the committee ever.
Never.
Ever.
Well, your hard work is very much admired, because when I saw the bracket, I'm like, oh man, here we go. I love it. I look forward to it every year.
Yeah. That's what I was so stressed out when we were doing it last night, and then we got done. I'm like, man, this is really fun.
Well, one thing we did change this year, right, is that we tried creating an entire, I guess, division of the bracket to be not characters, right?
Yeah,
all inanimate objects, whatever it is, rock music and donuts and ranch dressing, all the above, just to give that a little bit of a chance. Because I think more than anything, I go back to one of our earliest episodes. One of the first things I remember about oh my God, this is exactly why this podcast exists, is when we debated cooler sizes. We FMK'd cooler sizes.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next thing that comes to mind is a fat battle between thin crust pizza and thick crust pizza.
Yeah, we had always done characters, friends.
Always characters, right?
Comic books and all that,
Marvel.
Let's
and
try
all
this. And Kevin looked at me and he said,
and I was like,
how the hell are we going to do that? And I said, just wait.
And it's perfect. I mean, you can't help but laugh thinking about how pizza can be an athletic trainer.
It's all about qualities, redeeming qualities.
I mean, I got a bracket right in front of me. I don't know who this is from because they didn't write their name on it.
Oh,
but
shoot. I know
the winner is donuts.
Somebody
the
has
winner is donuts.
Yeah, donuts.
I mean, and in their mind, they somehow rationalized how donuts would be better as an athletic trainer than Gandalf, the wizard. So
that's their final.
I mean, that's just amazing.
Gandalf
that is amazing.
Okay, so what was the toughest first round selection for you guys?
Yeah, give us one.
Did you guys, or was there one where you both were so at odds? No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No. What was the toughest one? First round.
Well, much like our business, we usually we do have some disputes, but at the end of the day, we come to a consensus, and it's whoever has the most, powerful, I guess, thought process around it. And when in doubt, you turn to your wife and see what she says.
So whose wife won, or did the wives agree? Yeah. What happens if the wives don't agree?
The wives agreed. So here it is. It's round 2. Okay, I'm going to set it up.
Oh, you forecasted.
Okay.
Yeah, we went up to round 2. Okay, so you guys know last year I took Rey as the Jedi. Like I thought she was like the perfect pick for an athletic trainer. So I carried that knowledge over to 2022, and I said, Princess Leia, top seed. These guys feel me. They understand where I'm coming from a Jedi perspective. Here she goes. Off we go, Princess Leia. Well, unbeknownst to me, Phil from Hangover goes in the second round with Princess Leia. And just by chance, we start asking our wives, what are you guys doing? What are you talking about? Why Phil the Hangover, Bradley Cooper versus Princess Leia? And it turned into a glamour, a looks thing for them. And Bradley Cooper kind of won out. But I don't know, Nathan. I mean, we can make, he is a very handsome man. I feel comfortable saying that. He is. But Leia in her day, man, right? I mean, I think
absolutely
very disputable.
I mean, come on.
Well, I think the problem is Dan and I are old. And so we remember a certain Princess Leia look that she made very famous. And it's like
Return of the Jedi. We know where you're going.
Yeah, no matter how gorgeous Mr. Cooper is, I can't see her losing that battle. So I think Dan folded and let his wife pick that out. And I probably wouldn't have gone that direction, but there it is.
It's funny because I was having a debate with a coworker today about Phil from The Hangover, but it was the first round, him versus Michael Bluth. To me, that's the toughest first round matchup for me because Michael Bluth from Arrested Development, and they're both problem solvers. And my coworker just said, Phil. He can solve problems, but he also created his own problem. And I was like, that's an interesting way of looking. He created his own problem. Does that make him a good athletic trainer? It's like, man, that's a good point. I don't know.
I tell you what, Michael Bluth
kind of did the same thing though too. He could have got it out.
No, he handles that family.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, no, we thought Bateman from Ozark too. Like,
I was so mad last year with Ozark. I had oh gosh, now I'm blanking on her name.
Rose. Right? Rose?
Ruth.
I had Ruth going really far, and she got, man, last year's bracket was a train wreck for me. I had Dembe from Blacklist as maybe winning it or in the finals. I had Ruth from Ozark going deep, and they both got bounced early. And it's just so frustrating when deep down they would be so good.
You went a little sentimental on your bracket last year, though.
I did?
It was a little sentimental. Dembe is maybe your favorite character of all time.
And I really feel bad about that. I feel bad about that. Yeah, because I really felt like you kind of melted down, like as we were talking about it last year. Like, oh no, I shouldn't have picked that one. Oh no, man.
I stand by it 100%. I stand by it.
Okay. All right.
I've got I'm gonna get mad. I have said on the podcast this year, 2 weeks ago, actually, I think it was, I have the winner. In fact, I feel strongly about one of these characters being the best athletic trainer. Yeah, he lost to Jeopardy because Alex Trebek had just passed away. R.I.P. But Jeopardy is not better than Dembe. But I said 2 weeks ago, there is a character in this bracket who is the best fictional athletic trainer we've ever had in 3 years of doing this.
That's what he's saying.
And they're going to lose in the first round. Have you guys seen Encanto?
Yes, I saw it.
The mom. Mom from Encanto.
She makes food.
All she has to do is give you a treat of some food and you're healed. What could be how can you beat that?
It's the perfect athletic trainer.
She was also the sweetest lady I've ever seen. So I just don't know how she's going to be beat, but she'll lose in the first round to King Kong. I know it.
King Kong, you think?
Kick me right where it hurts.
I think you're wrong on that. I really think you're wrong.
Okay, so Nathan, you said that you said underrated for Benny and the Jet. Is there anybody in the field that you think is super overrated?
Ooh.
Oh, good question.
Sorry, I don't know if you have the bracket right in front of you, but
I think Dan actually took the bracket with him, so he's got it in front of him. But I do remember going through all of these, so let me pull one here.
Yeah, somebody. Oh man.
I mean, you feel free to say ranch dressing at a number one if you hate ranch.
No, I actually like that. It's very hard not to like ranch. So I don't know, you guys. I'm not a big Loki fan, so when I saw that, I thought that was kind of like
Loki is a 3 seed.
He's a 3 seed.
He's hard to like. He's really hard to like, and don't you need to like your AT just a little bit?
You
I
can't,
don't know,
especially he's just not a guy you can trust.
Oh,
No, you really can't.
I off the top of your head, that's a really solid call.
okay.
That is a good call, Nathan. Yeah. I knew I liked you.
Because you're trustworthy and I like you.
Um,
What do you got?
that's kind of where I wanted to go with you guys. I don't want to take up your whole night. I'm very interested and intrigued to see the finished bracket you guys come out with. So
Can't wait.
I know last year we had, or maybe that was 2 years ago. It must have been the first one where we had your bracket, my bracket, and Kevin's bracket. We were like, if you could beat us, we did the weekly picks. We'd love to do that again with you guys.
Big time.
Like lock of the week kind of thing, and an upset special each week of the tournament, if you don't mind, at least for the first couple weeks. I know it's kind of hard when you get to the final 8, final 4, like, oh, who's going to be the upset, whatever. But maybe we'll reach out to you guys as we start getting into the voting and do some fun stuff. So
can we put up a little swag for the winner? We've got some fresh swag. So like Dan,
yeah,
and I
we've
wearing our
got.
old
So we've
versions.
already said, if you're listening to this, we're gonna accept brackets until March 20th, which is when the first round voting will close.
Correct.
So for the AT out there that can collect the most ballots, you can get the most people involved. We're already going to give them a free membership. And if they're already a member, we'll get them some free gear.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin usually does the tallying and the points system and all that. And if you have the best overall score, we usually give out prizes to the first and second place. So that's already going to happen.
And so if you guys want to tag along on that, send us some shirts or whatever.
Yeah,
like whatever swag you got. I mean, that shirt that Dan's wearing right now, I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty cool looking shirt.
If you go through the comments in the live stream, people have been talking about the shirt. So if you go back,
really?
A lot, yeah,
they did.
yeah. It's got more than one.
Is that a camo
comment.
chair?
Yeah, that's.
Is it, where did your
he's
chair
hiding.
go? What happened to your chair? Your chair disappeared.
All right, we got some new swag, so let me get it on
Oh.
camera.
So
And
I
then-
like it.
And this one's particularly this one.
I love it.
yeah,
I love it. Looks
And then
like
one
good
more.
material.
Yeah, we got a couple more here, so we can kick in some goods for the winner.
I love
The
it.
winner.
That's so great. We'll get a package together for some winners.
yeah. So we'll work on that with you guys. We'll connect, sometime later this week on what we want to do. So we appreciate you guys coming on and having some fun with us.
Yeah. Can't thank you enough.
And seriously, this podcast owes a debt of gratitude to the two of you that you don't even understand. So we appreciate you guys.
Thanks, man. Just keep doing what you guys are doing, Kevin and Chad. You guys are fun. I love it. We hear people all the time, our customers, who said we heard about you guys on Candid AT, and those guys are so much fun, and we can't get enough of them. So keep doing
That's
what you're doing. Keep making people happy, and yeah, we love working with you guys. So thanks for having us on. It was a lot of fun. This wasn't work for us tonight.
Oh, this was awesome.
That's how good relationships happen. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Big time.
we'll let you guys enjoy your evening. Appreciate it, and we'll connect later this week. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Love you
Sure.
guys. Thanks. So,
Well, that's
Healthy
fun.
Roster, right? HealthyRoster.com.
Let's
I
do
mean,
let's do
seriously.
Yeah,
Can't-
they're the
can't
best.
thank those guys enough. Seriously, go over to HealthyRoster.com. Check them out. You can always get a hold of somebody, and you will always be able to learn more about their platform if you want to, change your EMR. Or if you'd already had Healthy Roster and you want to talk to them about what they can improve. They're humble human beings
Absolutely.
that will improve their system.
So, Kevin, do you want to talk a little bit more about the Fat Bracket, or do you want to save that for next week? Just you and I and what we're talking about in the first round here. Or do you want to get into our feature topic? Just do some AMA and let the live streamers ask us some questions. How do you want to do? You want to do a few more minutes on the Fat Bracket?
We're gonna do 2 more minutes on the Fat Bracket.
All right.
But get your questions ready. Honestly, just ask us anything. we're having a totally different show tonight. But
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
just
to me, I was doing my bracket earlier today, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some very sentimental picks for me this year.
Oh,
You know,
you just called me Mr. Sentimental last year.
I mean, Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park is a really strong candidate for me. Really strong candidate.
Like Final Four strong?
Oh, maybe.
You don't have to
I
divulge
don't
if you
know.
don't want.
Maybe.
Have we?
I have a crap ton of upsets. I have a crap ton of upsets.
You know what? After last year, fuck it. that's how I feel. You know,
We literally just made this bracket last night, and every once in a while, I was going through it earlier today, and I'm like, you know what? I like this matchup. I like the upset. I bet when we were talking about it earlier, you know, in the year, I liked the other person maybe, but oof. I mean, every once in a while in this, I'm sorry, but Benny the Jet is. I'm not a big fan.
So you disagree with Nathan here, which is fine. Again, you can make arguments for or against all these people, and that's what this is so much fun.
I think Winter Soldier over Ned is for me like a very easy pick
for an upset.
Yeah,
you're calling Winter Soldier with the fake arm,
and this is the sole reason I went with it. Ned,
you haven't seen the newest movie.
I have not, but Ned freaks out all the time. He just freaks out when something like he's the first one to be screaming because something's happening. Winter Soldier is very quiet, and he does what he needs to do, even if it was when he was earlier in his life and killing people that shouldn't have been killed. I love it.
I just put this way up. Good podcasting. I'm looking at the bracket. All right, so your upset special is Winter Soldier.
I mean, kind of.
It's a 12 seed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I also have Dr. Doom over Sean from Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi.
You loved Sean from Shang-Chi.
I did. I thought
but
it was
you
a
have
good
Dr.
movie.
Doom advancing?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh. I would have never in a million years thought that you, of all the people.
Dude, he's the smartest guy in the room. He's got like mind control, like, you know, telepathic crap. He can manipulate all the matter around him. I mean, come on. I know he's in a metal mask and all that crap, but dude, that dude he's got some powerful weapons on his side.
Who's the one that you're most worried about, like, of your picks? Oh. Like for me, like last year, if you would have told me Dembe would have lost, I would have cried, and then I did cry.
This one's a tough one because it's in the inanimate, you know, whatever section. Donuts.
You are partial to donuts.
Because I just love donuts. I'm not gonna lie, if donuts don't make it through decently far, my bracket's not gonna do well.
All right, here's a question for you. We were talking about at work today.
Yeah.
If
Dr. Grant, honestly, Dr. Grant is probably my biggest worry because I think there's a generation that didn't grow up like I did watching the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So they don't know who Dr. Grant is. They know who Gandalf is because it's one of the most I think Jurassic Park is right up there with Lord of the Rings.
That's going to be
fight me on it.
I think Gandalf could be I agree. I think Gandalf probably will win that matchup.
More people know Gandalf.
It's a name recognition thing.
If it was the T-Rex or the Raptor from Jurassic Park, then maybe that would advance, but
yeah. So I was having this debate at work last night or today. So if the higher seeds advance in the second round, you're looking at Food Network versus Cake.
Yeah.
And we were arguing if Cake made the Food Network or if Food Network made Cake.
Oh.
Does Cake help the Food Network? Or does the Food Network help popularize Cake?
That's kind of interesting. I didn't think
about
that.
That was a fun conversation at work.
One. Zach, let me answer that question for you real quick. So the way I figure out who sends in the most brackets, it's your athletes, right? So each person can only send in one bracket. What'll happen is, let's say Mr. Rick Cox has been maybe he turned in the most brackets one year. He just sends me 40 brackets, of all of his athletes in an email. And you might need to send them in multiple emails. But if they're coming from you and they're just make sure everybody's name is on there. And if you want to put like, somebody's name and like the school they're associated with, whatever it is. But if it's all clumped with you on your email, I consider it from you.
I think that's what he's saying, though, is what happens if his athletes just send it in on their own. We don't have a spot where it says my athlete is, which is something maybe we should think about.
But by all means, like if you want your athletes to send them in on their own, just let them know to put either your name or like where you are, like your school or whatever it is. Or if you don't work at a school for anybody else, and you work for a team, put the team name down, whatever it is. Just make sure that I can tally them all together. But normally what happens is all the athletes give it to the athletic trainer, and then because you're the only one that knows how to use a scanner, and then you scan them to me.
The whole cake thing is getting out of hand on live stream, of course.
And honestly,
cake.
No,
cake.
Zach, anybody. Like, Zach, anybody can do this fat bracket. If you get your entire family to do it, if you get all your athletes, if you get whoever, I don't care.
The point is to engage people in talking about athletic training.
Literally the whole point. So
if we get 5,000 brackets, we're gonna be in trouble.
Dead,
but
that's great. That's the whole point. We want. Our first thought with this bracket was, how cool is it going to be that the athletic trainer puts this bracket up along with that other bracket people do in March in the athletic training room, and you get your athletes talking about why, Captain Crunch is a better athletic trainer than the professor from Gilligan's Island.
Man, if that happens, I'm going to be wrecked.
If that's the case, is if we have athletic trainers having their athletes fill these out and having these debates, that's how you promote the profession. We love it. When you guys send in videos of your athletes, like, arguing about whatever, peanut butter over jelly, whatever it is, it's so great. Because that's at least 75% of why we want to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Create really stupid conversations around athletic training.
All right. I'm going to make one more general comment. And then we'll leave the fat bracket talk for a little bit more in depth next week.
Oh, sore.
I got 3. I'm just looking at this, and there are a couple characters I'm really concerned about who I think deep down would make really good athletic trainers.
Okay.
And they're just not going to win because they're just not as well known.
You think people don't know who they are? Okay. Dove.
Dove. Dove.
Everybody
Dove
watch
from
Titans.
She's just such a sweetheart.
She's the mom.
She's the mom character.
She also kicks some ass.
Ajax from Eternals, Selma Hayek.
Okay. Because she healing touch.
Healing touch.
Got the healing touch.
I mean, it's just simple. But she's going to lose. Well, she might not lose in the first round because she's up against somebody named Bloodsport.
Ooh.
Which I think they'll think maybe that's the movie, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Bloodsport.
Oh my God.
It's that character's
just
name.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
The whole movie is the best athletic trainer of all time.
But then the other one, and I know Kayla on the live stream is all about this, is Allison Hargroves from
Never saw it.
Umbrella Academy. She's got this really cool power. So just don't lose track of the fact that it's fine, but really think about who would make the best athletic trainer. Because sometimes I think we just like, who do we like more? But does that mean they're the best athletic trainer? Not always. So, all right, enough.
What?
Let's just do our feature topic here. I hope you got your questions ready.
Anybody got any questions?
Ready?
Go
for it. Kayla,
I can't believe I hit the right button.
Abby, Umbrella Academy is a TV show, 2 series. It's like Loki, but it came out before Loki. So Loki basically ripped off the Umbrella Academy. It goes into the whole time space continuum thing. It just did it. It just did it a year or 2 before Loki.
Oh,
it's really good.
Really?
It's a independent comic book. Umbrella Academy.
Whoa. It's not
So
Marvel?
that was the first AMA. She said, "What the fuck is Umbrella Academy?"
go.
And we're doing answer anything. Ask us any question, we'll answer it.
Are we ever going to try to bring back the new graphics?
Netflix.
What's the answer? You said Netflix is the answer for what? You got to say the
She
question.
said, "Where do I watch it?
Oh.
Where do I watch Umbrella Academy?" It's on Netflix. Do we do a meetup? Man, all right.
Will we do a
it's
meetup?
It's going fast here.
You guys, slow down. We can only read so fast. We're both athletic trainers. Will we do a meetup? Absolutely.
Yes.
I think I'm ready post-COVID world that everybody can get together. So, I mean, NATA is right around the corner. It's really not far away because I might have a kid by then. So it's really not that far away. We definitely
You're going to be cutting it really close with that.
We're going to be
one.
cutting it really close.
Not me.
How else could we do a meetup? I mean, everybody's everywhere, you know?
Everyone come to Milwaukee on this date.
Yeah, that's tough.
We'll do a live show right here in our hometown.
We could organize that.
We talked about it once.
We could have a live audience.
Would you all come to Milwaukee just to hang out with us? You should.
We wouldn't, like, we could have a live audience instead of, like, doing this kind of stuff. Like, see, it was like we were a TV show.
Yeah, laugh track.
That was funny. I don't know why didn't anybody else laugh, but whatever.
Nate asked, "Are you ever going to try and bring back the new graphics?"
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, we're trying to figure out the technology side. All right, Kevin said,
Are they on there? Push one. Just do it. If they're on there.
I don't have the new graphics on here. I took them off.
I think we figured out the glitch before.
Glitching.
And I don't think it has anything to do with the graphics.
Did we have a glitch at the beginning of tonight's show?
Yeah. Any glitches today, guys?
Was there some glitch at the beginning of the show? Let us know. All right, Kevin wants to know, what do you guys miss most, or what do you miss about your previous setting?
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
Go ahead.
The humans. Basically the humans. I was incredibly close with my coworkers, and I miss being a part of their lives every single day. And then, honestly, them being a part of my life every day. I am not a good texter. I'm not a good phone call person. And so I feel very distant from people that I was so close with because I spent literally hours upon hours upon hours and days with the same people. So number one, humans. Everything else I've replaced with great things. And so I can't really say that I guess I do miss never having to think about what I was going to eat because there was food.
It was always just provided for you.
I mean, I had lunch, I had dinner, I had snacks. I almost never went to the grocery store during the season. That I would say I really do miss.
Yeah, I have to agree that it's the people. The people are what make or break. If you enjoy the people you work with, you usually put up with more of the BS. Yeah. You know, people like Tim Prawl, who I think hopefully is still on this live stream, you know, they're just good people. You want to be around them. So there's also a little bit of, there was times where I just enjoyed knowing that I was around sport, watching a baseball game, watching a soccer, watching somebody compete, and I could just be there to support. That's kind of neat.
That's true.
You're just in a I'm here to help.
I do kind of miss being able to, it's like that firsthand interaction with what you just did, right?
Yep.
Like I actually tell my patients that now. Like, one thing that I don't do anymore is I don't now go see you play golf, or go see you play tennis, or go see you play baseball. Like, you just leave and you have to report back to me next week.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss that.
Yeah. Dylan wants to know, when will the monthly Hangouts start for members? Yeah, that's something we've really, really, really bad at.
I thought they started already.
We promised that and we failed on that.
Yeah.
So we gotta do better there. What's the best way to do it? Do you want to do it Instagram? Do you want to do it like
But
Zoom?
Instagram is like limited, right?
Yeah, no, because you can't limit it. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Only one person can be on at a time, right?
Maybe it's a Zoom call with the emails. So
Maybe.
we'll figure out a way to do it. How do you spell ice cup?
ICUP.
Nope. Never mind. Forget it. It's a
ICUP.
joke.
ICUP.
Ice cup. I'll just say it that way.
I cup.
I cup. I should I register for NATA if I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to attend? Depends if you want the 10 free CEUs.
10 free CEUs
for the $200. I don't know.
If you want to read the
so then it's not free. It's
Nata
$200.
News.
Yeah.
Or legitimately, if you can, I'm not gonna lie, I use it because it ends up being a tax write-off.
Arrested. Oh no, that's Schitt's Creek. It's a write-off. It's a write-off. It's a write-off.
It honestly saves me money on taxes.
Yeah.
It's another thing I can write off that if I'm going to pay for it, I might as well use it so that I don't have to pay as much taxes at the end of the year.
And we're going to reimburse ourselves anyways.
Yeah.
How to best negotiate salary in job interviews.
Man.
Jerry Maguire did it best.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
I'm probably the least experienced with that because my previous setting, there was no negotiation. It was literally, oh, you don't like the number we gave you? Well, you can either piss off or you can accept it. And now I work for myself, so I negotiate whatever I want to make. What I would say is don't devalue yourself. I think the more of us that can keep walking into interviews and have a strong number in mind, you would be surprised at how many times, especially now. I mean, I think the industry needs athletic trainers, and I think more than ever, you might be able to negotiate a good salary. Definitely talk to as many athletic trainers as you possibly can to know what they make. And I think all athletic trainers are very open to talk about what they make. Because I think all of us want each other to make as much money as possible and make a fair wage. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think what you said that made the most sense to me was just go in with your number and be like, this is what I'm worth. So pay me that number. That's what I'm worth. It's kind of like negotiating for a car. This is my number, or I walk away.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to be willing to walk away. And then you also have to be willing to make some concessions if it is like the perfect scenario for you. I mean, if you're talking about trying to make the same amount of money as, the head athletic trainer of a football at, whatever big, huge school, and you're at a little D3 school, I mean, you're probably not going to get it. But you're going to have a better work-life balance, I'm sure.
Question: why did the NATA conference fees go up 100 while offering 5 less CEUs?
No clue.
Go ask NATA.
Maybe it's because they're going to pay us to be there this year. That's not true.
Tiny glitch, no glitch, not as bad. Didn't have any glitches. What do you wish you knew? What do you wish you knew when you were a few years into the profession that you now know that you've been practicing for a while? Stop using modalities so much.
Yeah. Use your manos.
No, just get people to move. Just get them moving.
I think.
Stop being passive modalities.
Yeah. Very, very passive treatments are for the birds.
Honestly, it took me until we did, Kevin and I did this individually, probably within a year of each other. We both took the a continuing education course called Neurokinetic Therapy, NKT. It made me realize that I was tired of chasing and doing just treatments. I wanted to fix people. So I started looking for things that would fix people and not just treat them. So I need real advice, but I don't want to ask on here. So just DM us, Kayla.
Yeah.
So obviously we'd love to help you out.
Yeah.
How do you best ask for a raise?
Just email us or, DM us on Twitter, whatever it is. Or I'm sure anybody on here. And then also know that you're in a safe space.
I think Nate's question goes kind of back to Zach's, like, how do you ask for more money?
How do you best ask for a raise?
Yeah,
I
mean, it's the same. Here's my number.
I think I go back to the strongest thing I had at my disposal when I was in professional baseball is we did a salary survey amongst the entire professional baseball ranks. And so it was every athletic trainer filled out a survey, and it was how much you made. Did you get per diem? Did you get, a car, like a car allowance? Did you get a rental car during spring training? Did you get this? Did you get that? And then they, like our PBATS association, just created a booklet that we literally could hand to our front office and say, listen, this is what is the going rate for athletic trainings across the league. I think we should meet these standards. And so I think then you have to have conversations or figure out in your setting, what's most likely what people are making. What do you got?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were.
I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
Talking in my head. I got an idea for the end of the show.
For the end of the show?
Yeah, which is coming up quick. What's your favorite 30 for 30? Kevin asks.
Favorite 30 for 30?
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, you have.
Nope.
You've never seen a 30 for 30?
Nope.
That is bullshit. You've never been on ESPN in the last 10 years, maybe 15 years. When was the first 30 for 30? I need to figure that out. And you've never seen them.
I don't.
Yeah, Fab Five.
I never saw it.
Maybe like there was a Griffey one with him and his dad.
Never saw it.
I call bullshit.
I think I might have seen one, and I couldn't even tell you what it was. I just didn't do the documentary thing back then. You keep looking.
30 for 30? To be very honest, I don't know what my favorite one is. I'd have to look at all of them and kind of remind myself what I've all seen.
All right, here we go. Given the opportunity, how would you change the podcast?
Go for it.
This is what drives me every night before I fall asleep. I think about how can we do this better. Here's what I want to do. Here's the big picture plan for me. Kevin may or may not agree, but this is mine. Find ways to attach CEUs to our memberships. Get a lot of memberships. Get so many memberships that we can do this exclusively, just be podcasters and promote the profession. Take that salary and time and get some digital video equipment. Go around the country filming people, interviewing people, and then just do more fun shows like Pimp My Athletic Training Room, A Day in the Life of Dylan Campbell, yada, yada, yada. That's how we promote the profession. That's what I would change. I just want more. I want more of that's kind of how I've always looked at it, the next couple steps. So we get the CEUs, and then we get thousands of members, and then Kevin and I can just have fun with meeting you all and and helping you guys. Maybe it's a show where we're just answering questions and be like, hey, how would you treat this? How would you treat that? And whatever. We can just offer more content. Number 2.
Yeah.
Kevin and I have talked about doing spin-offs or overseeing other people. Candid bartending, candid teaching, candid parenting, candid whatever it might be. Just take our style and just apply it to other things, other professions, other whatever. I mean, it seems to be a fun way of talking about things.
Yeah, we're not the only profession that complains about stuff.
No.
These things should be better. Why are we still doing this? And or need to have conversation with other people in that same profession.
All right, what's your 30 for 30?
So I don't have like a top one, but there was one about Ben Johnson running a 979.
Okay.
Then I remember the Bad Boys one was pretty good.
Is that the Miami one?
No, for Detroit Pistons, Bad Boys.
I actually might have seen that
Miami one
I
is
might
good.
have seen that one. I didn't see the U.
All
right,
the
Kevin.
U one is definitely great.
Given the opportunity, how would you change
Elway to Marino?
Oh, didn't see it.
Like the whole
83,
how that draft
that whole
went.
83 class, yeah. All right, given the opportunity, how would you change the podcast?
Change it?
Yeah. Less glitches.
Less glitches.
More.
I think I would. I wouldn't change the podcast itself. Now, I agree with you, and we have the same vision of going forward. We want this to be, you can listen to us and get more value out of it, CEUs.
Yeah.
And it's just, then it becomes a much easier revenue stream for us as well. And a cheaper revenue stream for you to get CEUs, hopefully. The other side, definitely want to branch out. We would love to make it the Candid Network instead of just Candid Athletic Training. I think more it has to do with like what I would change about the podcast. Oh God, I just want that. I want that. Yeah, like I want that next step so that it becomes easier for me and you to organize it a little bit more. And I think
automated everything.
And I think we are in this weird spot where like if we could organize more, I think we could gain more traction, but we need more in order to organize more. Yep. And it's just this weird middle ground. I think COVID really hurt us. I mean, the review you read earlier said, I haven't listened since like COVID hit because weird life things, blah, 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 blah. Like, I would like to get back to normalcy for the podcast so that we can all see each other and more people interact with us because then they love us.
I got one more change. Yeah. I think people just think we're, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to say we're a joke or we're just because we are fun or funny doesn't mean we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. And we cannot we're good athletic trainers. Like we can help with answering rehab questions and demonstrating different things. I would love to be able to bring that out a little bit more. Other than just being the fun one, which is fine. Maybe there's like two, maybe the one show is more serious, one is more funny. I don't know. All right, we're going to go lightning round here.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself retiring to?
Here.
Savannah, Georgia. Question, if you could have one celebrity and one pro athlete to guest star on the podcast, who would it be?
Celebrity. Pro athlete? Fruitcake.
It's a tough question.
The first celebrity that came to mind was Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Because I think anybody can talk to that guy.
Maybe Mark Wahlberg. I don't know.
Wahlberg could be good. He has some stories.
Actually, it might be Will Smith.
Will Smith. Adam Sandler might be a good one.
Yeah.
He kind of got that athletic background too.
One pro athlete to guest star. It's got to be Giannis for me.
Giannis would be awesome. That would be so unbelievable.
Yeah.
I agree.
More questions.
I'd retire to Florida if Ryan and Emily still lived down there. That'd be close to Savannah.
Yeah.
It'd be hop, skip, and a jump.
This one is specifically for you, Kevin.
What's
like
up?
PBATS, I have PHATS. Do you think that more settings should have individual societies like the pros do?
I mean, they kind of do. You know, I mean, it's just when you're in that pro ranks, like it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. I do think that it helps athletic training professions. I really do. We had PBATS was a really good resource for us as athletic trainers, and they tried to put out as much information as well to other athletic trainers. So yeah, I really do. Yeah.
Okay. They're telling us, let's see, by CEU stuff. Candid parenting. Candid bartending. All right. I don't see any more questions.
No?
And so let's end here, Kevin.
Let's end here.
Here we go. No.
Oh.
I got. Well, you can play that.
Oh.
Real quick.
What?
We wanted to start branching off and doing some random, just fun stuff. Give me your Mount Rushmore of Girl Scout cookies.
Thin Mints, number 1. There used to be.
I don't even know if I could.
Honestly, shortbread. Like traditional shortbread ones, dunked in milk, are just amazing. They are addicting as hell to me. There were these cinnamon, sugary kind of ones back in the day that I used to love. And you know what? I didn't really like them when I was a kid. Now I like them a lot. The peanut butter patty ones. Those are my Mount Rushmore. I don't know what the
Thin Mints for sure, number 1. Peanut butter patties, 2. Lemon Ups. Ooh, I haven't had the caramel ones. Caramel with the drizzle on them. I don't know what they're called. Here we go. Hang on.
Caramel Delights?
Yeah, Caramel Delights. I'm fine with them. So yeah, Thin Mints, Caramel Delights, peanut butter patties, and lemonades. Those are my 4.
Got it.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks to Dan and Nate from Healthy Roster jumping on. Thanks to Brew Fitness for letting us come use your establishment. Thanks to all our live streamers for the questions. We'll look into the monthly Hangouts.
We will. We will definitely look into that more. We're definitely trying to be at NATA. I do have a little one coming on the way, and it's kind of right around that time. I've already gotten the okay from the wife, as long as she's not ready to pop.
Yeah.
We'll probably be heading. I'll be heading down there with you.
Looking forward to it. So, Fat Brackets. Talk to as many people as you can about them. Have fun with it. Make sure they fill out the bracket. Let them know to send them to our email, candidathletictraining@gmail.com. It's for fun.
5 World Cinnamons, by the way. 5 World Cinnamons. They were amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Get your Fat Brackets in. Send it to us. Email. Please. Gather them all together if they're all your athletes and send them in one big file, if that works. And then, one thing. If you want to do the Excel file, open it in Google Sheets. So take it and download it off the website, but then drag it right into your Google Drive. It's really, I promise, not that difficult. And open it in Google Sheets if you want to do it. If you have a Mac computer, it will not, like numbers, like the numbers platform does not transfer the drop downs, and it's all messy. Use Google Drive or Excel if you have Excel. Other than that, everybody have a great night.
See y'all.
Bye.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is